What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be showing you guys the team that I use in order to farm raid SANJI. Now, this is honestly one of the coolest raids that we've had in a while. This is a really nice raid boss unit that can go ahead and boost your powerhouse teams just a whole lot. Now, let's go ahead and just overview the character before we get actually into the dungeon itself. So remember, guys, if you guys do go on to enjoy it and you do enjoy the content around here, make sure to smack the like button down below, as it's always greatly appreciated. So here is the raid boss SANJI unit. Now, on stream earlier today, we went and farmed a bunch of this guy. We maxed his skill, and I still need to farm a little bit of his sockets, but he's pretty much done. And the reason why I went with these sockets in particular is that when he gets a limit break, which is going to be the next batch of limit break characters, when you limit break him, he actually gets an additional socket spot. So originally what I planned to do is chain, despair, cooldown, and auto heal. So I'm going to do those 4 sockets. So whichever ones came up first, I was just going to pick. So these are the ones that came up first. Obviously need to go ahead and do auto heal a little bit more. He maxes at 15 turns, starts at 30, so he needs 15 skill ups. His captain ability is a 2.75 times powerhouse attack booster, as long as you keep hitting perfects. As soon as you don't hit a perfect, you get no boost. However, he also heals 300 HP at the end of each turn. So don't feed him recovery candy, because this recovery boost from his captain is only just a flat boost. It does not get boosted from recovery candy. So as a captain, he's okay, not the best though. His special ability, as I said, maxes at 15 turns, does 150 times his own attack in typeless damage to a single enemy. That's a lot of damage, and also gives you 2 times attack to powerhouse units for 1 turn. That is exceptional, such a good unit. So if you guys don't have 3 year SANJI, or even if you do have him, this guy's much better because he does damage, a lot more damage with his special, and he has a less cooldown as well. So an exceptional unit. And when you limit break him, he does get like really cool abilities. I believe it's anti-bind, anti-slot bind, which is really good, and also he gets enrage, and he also gets that additional socket as well. So really good unit. Definitely max him out if you guys can do it. So let's go ahead and get straight into the team. Now, the team that I'm using is the same one I used on stream. So if you guys were there for the stream, you guys are very familiar with the team that I use. This team that I do use is a very fast team. I'm not going to be going too fast with it. I'm just going to talk about each stage as we get to it. So once the friends load up, we can go ahead and do it. But I am planning on using a Kuzan team, 6+ Kuzan. I've been really waiting to use 6+ Kuzan for some content, and we finally get the chance to do it right here. Unfortunately, we don't have our max special Sunny ship for the event, which would make this extremely fast, but even still, this team is still quite good. So I used the double Kuzan with the Law, the Nekomamushi, Alvida, because she's very important, and I'll explain why when we get towards that part of the dungeon, and also Speed Jiru, who's also very important, and I'll talk about that when we get there. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. But what other teams can beat this? Mainly teams with predominantly quick characters are going to be the easiest time with this, and ideally what you want to do is bring someone who is a 3-turn type booster, or bring someone that will give you a type boost after hitting a certain amount of perfects in a turn, because that's going to be very important in one of the stages. So here we go. In stage 1, this guy right here gives a preemptive buff to your crew that makes tandem and recovery orbs counters beneficial for your crew. This means that Legend Nekomamushi, Legend Time Skip Luffy, Gear 4, all of those specials that you activate that make certain orbs counters beneficial will not work, because you are already given a beneficial orb buff at the start of the dungeon. So you do have to plan your team around that. Nekomamushi can still clear this, however, you have to be very careful that his special doesn't actually work. It just does damage in this case. So you got to be very careful with the team that you bring. So we're going to go ahead here and just do as much damage as we possibly can. With a Kuzan team, you have to be very careful with the way that you actually deal with enemies, because you have to make sure that you don't kill things too fast, but you need to kill at least one thing every turn, so you're maintaining your boost, and you're also stalling to the correct amount. So you got to be very careful with the way that you use a double Kuzan team. So right now we're just stalling a little bit, but imagine, without this talking, you can just breeze through this very quickly. Now we move on to stage 2. Now stage 2 is pretty important. So you see the characters that aren't turtles, I recommend taking them out as soon as you can. Basically in turn 1, take those guys out because they can give you very, very bad debuffs. I believe the females will spare you for 10 turns if you don't kill them. So definitely just kill them all in 1 turn, and then you can focus on the turtles. Now this is a really, really good stage to stall on. Obviously you've got an Elder and a Daimyo turtle to stall on. So this is, you know, predominantly where you are going to be stalling. Moving on now, on stage 3, we have a whole bunch of these security guard characters. Now, these security guard characters, you can stall 1 turn on these characters. However, on the 2nd turn, no matter what, they will reduce your cooldown by 2 turns. So, ideally, take them out before they do that. Otherwise, you know, your stalling will have been for nothing. So it's really, really bad. Just make sure that you do take them out within 2 turns, and then that can basically just win you the match right there. Otherwise, you will have to do predominantly stalling, and stalling on stage 4 is not fun. So you see the purple and blue security guard female officers, if you leave them alive, they paralyze you for 5 turns each. So you can get paralyzed up to 20 turns on this stage. Also, the seahorse has a 5-hit perfect barrier. So this is why bringing someone like Legend Sabo, who gives you a boost and then after a certain amount of perfects gives you a boost in the next turn, because bringing a type boost into the room is going to be a lot more helpful, because if you activate a type boosting special on Raid Sanji's final room, he activates a barrier, a 5-hit perfect barrier for 1 turn. So either bringing someone that can give you multiple turns of type boost, or bring someone that can give you 3 turns so you can take it over a certain amount of rooms, or use a 2-turn type boost and then use Kuzan's ability to extend it to 3 turns. You'll understand what I mean. Anyways, we are ready to go. We've got all of our specials ready, so we can go ahead and just activate Kuzan's special and just completely wipe the room, you know, through the barrier. It's exceptional. And here we have Sanji. Sanji has like 7.1 million health. He goes ahead and cuts your health by 10%, I believe. Yeah, it's like 10%. He's got a delay protective, which is important. It means we can use Colosseum Necro Mamashi. As I said though, if you use a type booster, Sanji activates his barrier. So his barrier is a 5-hit perfect barrier for 1 turn. So if you're doing a 2-turn type booster, you can use that, wait for the barrier to expire, and then kill him. However, we can go ahead and use Speed Jiru, who just completely gets rid of 1 turn of any barrier on the enemy side of the field. So he's very, very nice to have. We can use Law for the 1.75 boost. We can use Kuzan just for damage, and also locks out Chain Multiplier. And this is important as well. We have someone to reduce damage by a significant amount, because what will happen is when Sanji dies, he does 60,000 damage to your crew. So you have to bring someone that can reduce damage by a fair amount. Otherwise, that can spell end for your run. So you're just trying to focus in so you hit out perfect. There we go. Completely wipe the floor with him. We've got Alvida to tank the hit, and then after that he actually recovers 71,000 health. So after you tank the hit, you can just take him down very, very easily after that. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.